All right, so I've been here for a while trying to decide how I want to take this video, and I think I'm going to look at it in terms of lineup construction versus driver A does this, driver B does this, whatever the case is. First and foremost, thank you for watching, thank you for being here. If you want to support us, April 1st, that's tomorrow. Feel free to join the Patreon, show your support. We get a lot of views and live shows on the videos and stuff. Only close to 100 people on Patreon. I'd like to see that increase a bit more. Maybe throw your support out this way if we've helped you in any way, myself or Pierce. Also, we're trying to get Pierce's YouTube channel to at least 1,000 subscribers. It's at like 730 right now. I think we can do that easily by the end of April. That's the goal I'm giving everybody. Subscribe to Pierce on YouTube. Continuing on, yet again, pit data is the most important factor, in my opinion. It's what I've been looking at the past couple weeks in preparation for Richmond and Martinsville. It determined who won Phoenix. It's going to determine races this year. We've already seen it determine races this year, and that's really the highest importance. I'm already falling apart here. It's the thing I'm focusing the most on. Like, seriously, like, that's going to weigh easily over 50% of my interest for drivers this weekend. So when we get to Saturday, or when you get to making lineups on Saturday, Sunday evening, my first thing going in is, where is the team in terms of how quick are they on pit road? Once those are ranked, then I'm going to look at how these guys were in practice. And then once that's ranked, then I could look back at previous track history or even previous races this year and go in that order. That's the way I'm going. Now, once that's done, or now that we got that out of the way, I want to talk about lineup construction here a lot. Why don't you talk about the pit road data some more? Well, I'd kind of like your support, and you can get that by joining us on Patreon. I want to really talk about the lineup construction because this pricing is very interesting. I can already tell it's going to be a very fun week to make lineups, and I really enjoy this. And a lot of people are like, "Oh my God, DraftKings completely missed the board here. Everybody's priced so soft." I think they're doing a good job at not making duplicated lineups here, because we're going to see the lead switch a lot in this race due to pits. To be honest, that's where I'm at. There is no clear competitive advantage for any one driver or any one team entering this week. So I think this pricing is very reflective on that. And when you look back at previous races, specifically say at Richmond and Martinsville in the short tracks, typically you do see us going into the punt range, sometimes the double punt. I'm not going to use the term dominator here because I don't believe there's going to be a dominator. So let's change that and let's use lap leaders seriously here, because I think we're going to see close to 4 or 5. I would not be shocked to see every time we come out of pit road somebody else taking a lead here. Certainly at the stages. That's where I really do believe that way. And so when we look at it in terms of lap leaders and you look at it in terms of how easy it is to build lineups, I'm chasing 4 lap leaders in this race. Now, I understand some of you guys are going to look back at the previous Richmond races and say, Richmond, hey, Brandon, I can't even remember my own name. Hey, Brandon, the Richmond race in the fall last year only had 3 dominators in the line. You had Denny Hamlin score 133.8. You had Martin Truex score 95.05 points. You had Bowman score 82.65. That's only a 3 lap leader race. I see that. I do see that. But you also did have Logano get some fast laps and laps led. His pricing at 10.6 made it difficult to get him into lines, and Bowman being 8.8, kind of booted him out of the optimal line. But here, we don't have that many people over $10,000. When we look back at the fall, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 drivers over 10,000. Okay? So when you're looking at previous optimal lineups, you got to keep that in mind of where these guys were in terms of pricing and how drastically different the pricing was last year compared to this year. When we look at the fall, my bad. That was the spring race, my bad. When we now look at the fall race, you have Denny Hamlin with 123.65 points. You have Truex Jr. with 86.35. You have Christopher Bell with 83.8. You have Ross Chastain with 53.4. I would make the argument that Chastain was okay. He was a lap leader, but he did get 5.4 fast laps, and he got 1.4 leading laps. I think that's pointing to that. You have Christopher Bell. You have Hamlin, Truex, Bell, Chase Elliott, Kyle Busch, Ross Chastain, and Larson all getting fast laps. And in terms of leading laps, Points, you have Hamlin, Truex, you have Bell, you have Elliott, you have Kyle Busch, you have Chastain, you have Kyle Larson. Like, we're leaning towards trying to just jam in as many lap leaders in our lineups as possible. And so I just wanted to at least touch on, if you're looking back at previous races and you want to make the argument where you only need a 3-dominator type of race, that's not where I'm at. That's not what I'm leaning towards, just due to the fact that we have much easier price. And when I say that, when we lean towards pit road speeds, Bowman is going to click off to me. He's gonna be there, and I'll start messing with this sheet eventually. I'm just building lines right here to show you the type of builds that I'm pretty sure I'm going to be running. So say if you play Alex Bowman, you play Ross Chastain, that's 85, 84,000. Then you go up to Truex. If you do believe in Truex, oh, he's only 9,600. Let's go ahead and grab Chase Elliott. I think he'll be great on pit road. So we have Bowman, Chastain, Truex, Elliott. Not crazy. Come on, not out of the realm of possibility for all four of those guys to lead laps. That's what we're leaning towards. And we still got $6,200 for the remaining players. So you don't necessarily have to go down into the punt range. I do, and I'm pretty sure my projections when I do make them post-qualifying, I'm sure it's going to show me that Garrett Smithley is going to be viable. It's probably going to show me that Cody Ware is going to be viable. Same thing with BJ McLeod. I'll probably end up still making lineups that do go to the punt range there. But even if you don't want to, Ty Dillon, as somebody, I forgot if it was Discord or not, but let's get rid of Gilly Gang and actually sound like a bunch of men, okay? Let's actually, no, can't lean towards any gender. Let's act like real adults here and call it Todd Squad, okay? Ladies and gentlemen, Gilly Gang is for the minors. The real adults, I'm getting weird really quick. That's odd. Todd Squad is the hashtag we should be using now. But say, if you don't want to use Ty Dillon or Gillen, you still got money left over. You can easily build lines using guys in the 5 and 6K ranges. I am absolutely just digging a hole in everything. There is no saving this video anymore. But building a 4-lap leader type of line makes a lot of sense. And we're going to see guys score fast laps that aren't leading the race. Not a gigantic portion. It's still going to be a factor of the leader is still going to gain the majority of the fast laps. But when you start going in and out of traffic, it then goes to whoever else has the fastest car. And so not only am I trying to get lap leaders in my lineups, I'm trying to get guys that are going to be running inside the top 10, because that is most likely where the fast laps are going to go. Outside of a case where somebody has a flat tire, the race stays green, they get on a different pit sequence, they're on fresher tires and everybody's on an old tire. Outside of those situations, the fast laps are going to be coming inside the top 10. And due to the qualifying procedures that we see, look, we're going to have guys that are starting, and I said this to start the year, I'm going to continue saying it, we're going to have guys that are starting between 15th and 7th who have cars that are going to be running inside the top 5, just due to the way that the qualifying works. That's just how it is nowadays, okay? So when we look at, or actually once we get that out of the way, in terms of guys that I want to focus on, I like Elliott. I like Elliott for the pit crew. I like him based on track history. I understand. I'm starting with Elliott just because he's the highest price. Clearly, track history does tell us to lean towards Hamlin, Truex, the guys who clearly show speed here, Logano's, the Penske cars like that. But as I'm saying, we're on a new car. I don't necessarily believe that you're going to be able to take a lot of those types of setups and bring it to Richmond. Okay, when we look at Phoenix, sure, we can look at track data there, but who won Phoenix? The pit crews did. Okay, Chase Briscoe did. All right, so that's why I'm saying I'm very much interested in Chase Elliott, and I'm liking Elliott here. Clearly, I'm still gonna play Larson, despite the fact that this is a track that Larson struggles at. But look, as I said last week at Coda, I'm not going to go 100% on Larson here, but the discounts on Larson that we're getting on ownership, if people want to forget that Larson exists, by all means, feel free to. He's not going to be a priority for me, but I will get at least probably 20% of Larson into my lines. This is a week, both due to pricing and just the fact that, as I said in my Xfinity video, I'm going to be out of town, or I'm leaving I'm gonna be out of town on April 11th, probably the 28th of April, and so this week and next week are the ones where I'll probably be making a majority of my lines and then going to like single entry when I'm out of town, just so I can not kill the laptop I'm gonna be using. Anyway, I plan on entering at least 10 lines, 10, 15 lines this weekend for Cup, unless something changes. But I'm going to have at least 20% of Larson. That's where I want to be right now. Kyle Busch is scaring me a bit in terms of where they are on pit road. We're not seeing Kyle Busch be the end-all, be-all. I don't remember the last word I said when I paused it. We're not seeing Kyle Busch's team be the end-all, be-all. Now, he is in the group that is 1, 2, 3, 4... Actually, hold on, let me change how I want to rank these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I would argue that he is part of the top 8 pit crews here. But in terms of that, like, we already know that we're seeing Kyle Busch leave pit road, you know, in top 6 positions, you know, specifically at Phoenix, you know. Actually, let me bring that up really quick, because that'll be a good example of what. Let me bring up the notes really quick. So I am going to show this. So hold on. Okay, so if you support us on Patreon, you can go in the notes section and you can see all the notes that I do. And typically, I try and really pay attention. And I know for a fact it was before stage 1. So we're going to put Kyle Busch. And I might have to search for Busch. Maybe on this one. I don't remember. Do I have it under Busch? As I say this, wow, I'm really selling the notes here. Let's see. I'm pretty sure I typed it under Busch and not Kyle. Oh, here we go. Yeah, so Kyle Busch in the stall, like when the crew was operating, one of the fastest teams on pit road. He was gonna come out in a top 3 position, leaving on the competition caution, and he stalls his car and he gets passed by a ton of people here. Later in the race, he gets the speeding penalty in pit road, and it absolutely just when he gets too fast entering, like, unbelievable, man. Like Kyle Busch had really good days on pit road at Phoenix, just issues cost him looking better in the in the actual race when they actually pit and everything. And so when you look at the pit data, you'll see that Kyle Busch is popping up as, hey, this crew is doing really good. That's more me leaning towards, like, they're doing good, they keep running into issues. That's why he's not like popping out for me as like a true guy I want to focus on, because there are guys that are much cheaper that I want to. So anyway, long-winded reason of why I'm where I'm at with Kyle Busch. Obviously, Truex, I'm fine with that. We're not seeing anything from the pit road stuff. This is leaning towards him being very, very comfortable at Richmond. Blaney, looking, obviously it's pretty abysmal on pit road. It's Blaney. I'm not going to be really interested in Blaney. Clearly right now everybody's still in play. Like right now I don't have anybody that I want to fade, but Blaney is certainly not, there, popping off my screen of guys that I just want to go out of my way to focus in on getting. Same thing with Hamlin. If I'm going Hamlin, it's just lean the track position, or if I'm seeing something in practice. It's not me loving Hamlin. Actually, I probably need to be more aggressive here, actually, with these guys in terms of the video, so we can I'm forgetting my words here. Whatever, you get the point. You know what I'm trying to say. This is where I'm at here. I'm a huge fan of Chastain. I'm liking what I'm seeing from Christopher Bell. This is the type of track that fits right into Bell's wheelhouse. Alex Bowman. First off, Alex Bowman is being fast, and his pit crew is being fast. You want to talk about pretty much guaranteeing pit stops that are going to be probably in the top 10 of the entire race, or in terms of teams, in terms of ranking teams. By far, he's going to by default drop into being a top 10 team on pit road. I like him. Briscoe clearly having a fast pit crew. We pretty much already know that. That's fine there. Same thing with Reddick. I'm very much interested in Reddick. At 8,200, that is just far too cheap. And so when we go to building lineups that have, multiple lap leaders, you can easily see the drivers that I do want to focus on. Actually, I'm going to bump him back up to an A just to emphasize where I want to go in my lines. And so if anything, I'll probably be, most of my ownership is going to want to go to Bell, Chastain, Bowman, Briscoe, and Reddick. And it's more so, usually you're fitting in a lot of the, where you want to go in the 10K guys, and you're filling in the rest of your lineups with the 8K guys. Well, here, I know exactly where I want to go, and I'm probably going to at least get 2 or 3 of these guys in the 8K range in each of my lines. Then obviously it'll change depending on practice, or if I just feel differently when Sunday comes around. But that's where I'm at least 2 right now. At least 2 guys in the 8K range that I believe can lead laps are going to make their way into each and every line for me. Right now I'm not interested in Harvick. I'm not interested in Kurt Busch. I am not interested in, actually Suarez is quite decent on pit road. That's the main reason why I would lean towards keeping Suarez in the pool. This is me not believing in Suarez. But when we look at, and we've said it before, that this team is a team that is going to want to play strategy, either be the first one into pit road or be the last one in to I forgot what it's called when you do the opposite of short pitting. But we've seen it multiple times to where Suarez will stay out, lead laps, pit late. But hey, if he leads those laps, that's important here. If Suarez stays out on a long run and everybody pits and he stays out, 10, 12 laps later, it might be a bit of a suicidal play. But if he can steal 6, 7, 8 laps led, that's going to be huge. Even with the small amount of points that is, 8 laps, that's 2 points. That's huge. Hell, you even lead 6 laps, that's 1.5. That's 1.5 points that you are not going to find from other people. $7,800, I'm interested to see Suarez here. And then, as I just said, I liked him on pit road. I think he's going to maintain a running position inside the top 16 here. I'm perfectly fine with Suarez. Eric Almirola, yet again, showing off on pit road. I like seeing this from Eric Almirola. And this is where I want to lean, man. Eric Jones is going to be... It's not going to be a priority for me. Keselowski, same thing. Not going to be a priority for me. I'm more terrified of how slow this car is. We'll leave him in there right now. I love Cindric. I absolutely love Austin Cindric here. This is a misprice. This is grossly mispriced. I love Cindric here. Austin Dillon, looking fast on pit road. I like him as well. Buescher going to be a no for me. AJ we'll wait and see. Not going to be going to Michael McDowell. He's struggling in this package. I'm interested in what Stenhouse can do right now. Haley's going to be a no for me. Cole Custer is not going to be a priority for me. I don't think I'm going to be able to get to these guys because, yet again, when I'm building, although Cole Custer's is in the 6K range, but I don't think I'm going to land there in the 6K. If anything, when I do get to the 6K range, it's probably going to be AJ. It's probably going to be Stenhouse where I end up going. Maybe Buescher. But, yeah, that's kind of where we're at here. Bubba Wallace, not showing anything on speed, not showing anything on pit road. I'm going to try to avoid Bubba Wallace. I'm sure Bubba will probably start around 28th. He'll look appealing. And my main concern is he just gets stuck running 23rd. I just don't like it from him. Harrison Burton, probably going to be a no for me at the moment. Clearly, yet again, this is early Thursday. We can change. We can change a lot. Obviously, Todd's squad, going to be interested there. Not going to go into LaJoy. I like Ty Dillon. Biffle, I want to see practice data. I'm intrigued at the price range. Probably not doing Castle. And I think if I'm going to go here, I would actually lean BJ and Smithley over Ware. But Ware's showing... Okay, here's the deal. We're going to look at some lap-by-lap data from Phoenix really quick. We're going to look at these bums in the back. real quick from Phoenix, because I haven't done that this week. So let's take a gander and look at how these bums in the back are doing. Very identical type of race, in my opinion, in terms of the back markers to Phoenix and Richmond. And moving on to Martinsville. Martinsville's going to be extreme, though. Martinsville, I'm very much leaning towards punting. But let's take a look at who ran better at Phoenix. Let's go here. Let's look at Phoenix. And we're looking at the bottom of the field here. So we are looking for... We're looking specifically at Cody Ware, BJ McLeod, Garrett Smithley. All right, so, and these guys basically ran side by side. I'm pretty sure Smithley went laps down late in the race, but we're going to see. So it's these, which is good because they are right beside each other. Make sure I don't move anything here. All right, so we got these three goobers here. Oh, well. All right, so I'm pretty sure, looking back at the notes, one of these guys gets the wave around. Where are we at here? Gotta keep on talking, which is why I do like looking at the notes that I just closed, because I normally always, or Pierce does, whoever's paying attention at the time, would normally write down who gets the wave around. So right off the notes here, early Phoenix, if it'll load, early Phoenix, we have the competition caution, lap 25. 25 laps into the race, Cody Ware is your free pass, which that's what I thought here, seeing that he ran 18th on lap 28, because he would have cycled around the field, got the lap led, and he probably would have beat the leaders out of the pit road, or at least a majority of the field, and then he has to let everybody back by. That's why you see him coming around 27th here, and then he pits, and he's in 34th. But anyway, so BJ McLeod, Smithley, and Ware all got lapped. But Cody Ware was the fastest of these guys. So we're going to just watch these three battle, and it should be very identical. I doubt we will see much position changing under green here. So pretty much the whole time Ware, and this is how I look at it. I forgot where these guys finish. I think I'll just look through here. As you can see, they're basically just running where they are. Somebody gets wrecked here, so they start gaining positions here. So this is where it goes to, I forgot if it's... This is why, and typically I think I am going to project all of these guys to at least finish 29th. But, you know, when you're down here, you're just waiting for guys to kind of wreck out and stuff. So clearly you have Larson blow a motor, you have Truex smack the wall. I don't think they could take advantage of Austin Dillon hitting the wall late. So I'm not entirely sure. What did these guys score, actually? I probably should have looked at that as well. So we're going to do that, too, and see how these guys are scoring back here. All right, so I get these. So yet again, I mean, tons of stuff that you can lose yourself in if you want to really dive into. But I want to specifically look at Phoenix. So we're looking at Ware, BJ McLeod, and Smithley. This is a main concern that they're going to score poorly. So Smithley scored 12. Not going to do it there. Where are you at? BJ McLeod scored 9, and Ware did 12. Not ideal. They gain 2 or 3 more positions. We're actually looking quite decent if they can get close to around 18, 19, 20, 21 points. That's perfectly fine. Anyway, I'm guessing I'll probably have, let's say I do, it's easy for me to think of. If I do 10 lines, 2 lines are going to have one of these guys in there. I would probably do, like I said, if I'm doing 10 lines, 2 of them will punt min salary. But when we're here, I'm very interested. I like this week. I like this week a lot, man. A lot of layers to it. So yet again, looking at layers in terms of importance, we have pit data. Actually, pit crew speed / pit road speed, to see who's gaining positions, entering, losing, specifically on the slower pit roads. And then I want to look at practice. And then I want to probably then look at race or track history. These are my order of importances for this week. And specifically these two, man. Like, track history is so far below on the totem pole If I can line these two up, if we can find drivers that line both these things up that are looking good, that if you have a top 7 pit crew and you have a top 7 time, I like both of those. And why am I choosing 7? Well, I would just rather choose that versus the top 10, because top 10 is too much of the field when I'm actually I'm just speaking. I'm rambling. I'm rambling far too much. These are the interest of my drivers right now. I like Chastain. I like Bowman. I really like Bowman a lot. I think Bowman can get some laps led. I don't think Bowman necessarily needs a fast car. He just needs a car that's going to be in the top 10. And I think I truly believe Bowman leads in this race at some point due to his pit crew. And feel free to look at the pit crew data to choose where else, or not choose, but like look through the data with me. You guys have it available. Look at, and I like looking at Phoenix too, because it's a slower pit road. Pit road speed is much slower. It's a tighter pit road, and I think guys that show the ability to carry speed on a curved pit road, specifically the exit, is going to be huge here. Because Richmond is very much of a what is it? There's one blank. Oh my gosh. A curved pit road. That's what I was trying to say. Now, granted, the pit lane doesn't continue into the corners, but for example, Las Vegas has a curve in it. I lean that towards how fast can the driver go, and do those types of pit road configurations lean to more or less speeding for certain drivers. That's why I would want to look specifically at how they did at Phoenix. Did they run into any pit issues? Were they speeding? Did they do anything wrong there? Are they able to carry enough speed and not? Are they able to carry a consistent amount of speed but not speed in zones on pit road that are curved? That's how deep I would dive into the data this weekend on top of the practice speeds. Those are the two that I want to focus on the most. So anyway, that's my intro, or that's my initial interest for Richmond. I don't think I'm going to make anything tomorrow. I think this is all it's going to be right now up until live shows this weekend. But outside of that, or let me know, do you want another video tomorrow? I don't think I'm necessarily doing anything other than preparing stuff in advance, but maybe I can do another video for you guys. Let me know in the comments below if you would like a video on Friday of something. Is there anything you want me to dive into? Outside of that, thank you for watching. Consider joining the Patreon if you think any of this stuff is useful, if we've helped you at any point. And yeah, we will see you guys for the live shows this weekend and the watch along for the Xfinity series on Saturday. I think it's going to be a lot of fun, so we'll see you guys then.